In this paralegal practice tip, I will briefly go over statute of limitations and how you as a paralegal can locate the statute of limitations for a particular action. So first, I want to start off by explaining what a statute of limitation is. A statute of limitation is a time that a party is given to bring an action in a particular case. So the time that they have to file a complaint with the court. And the statute of limitation is going to be different based off of what jurisdiction the party that the action will be brought in, and also what type of action it is. If it's a breach of contract, if it's a personal injury, if it's in Florida, if it's in California, if it's in New Mexico, all those things will determine what the statute of limitation is, how much time someone has to bring an action. This is extremely important. So as a paralegal, when you first start working on a case, you want to determine what the statute of limitation is. How much time does the client have to file this particular action? Once this is determined, you want to document it. If you're working on a physical file, with a physical file and an electronic file, you want to make note of it in the physical file and the electronic file. You also want to bring it to the attention of the attorney that there's so much time before the statute of limitation expires, or whatever the case may be. Also, if you have any question as to what the statute of limitation is, you also want to get with the attorney on that, because sometimes it may not be black and white as far as when a client has, or how long a client has to file an action. Sometimes you may be dealing with a case like, let's say for instance, there's a factory in a town that has been accused or allegedly caused cancer among the residents, and there's an action that's being brought against this particular factory. Now, someone may not find out that they have cancer for years, and so the statute of limitation in those particular instances typically start when a person becomes aware of an issue, or that a person should have reasonably been aware of an issue. That's when the statute of limitation will start. So that is the time frame that is given for someone to file an action. So let's say for instance someone falls in the parking lot at a baseball game, and they're saying that it's the way that the parking lot, the upkeep of the parking lot was a reason why they fell. And so at that point, the person would have a particular amount of time to file an action. If the action is not brought within that time, then the majority of the time the action cannot be brought. So if that statute of limitation runs out, then a person is barred from being able to bring that action. So that's why it is extremely important as a paralegal to determine what the statute of limitation is and to stay on top of it, so that a client does not lose their right of bringing an action for an injury or a grievance in a situation. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up with the paralegal practice tip, understanding statute of limitations.